Greetings, dear friend. I am so glad to be able to connect with you like this. I have some information that could be of great help to you. So, if you'll stay with me for the next 30 minutes or so, I may be able to greatly increase your understanding about those basic questions that everybody asks at some point in their life. Who am I? What is my purpose in life? What am I supposed to do with my life? And connected with these two questions is also the other one, relationships. I wish I could understand myself better. I wish I could understand other people better. So, all these things, in the next few minutes, I'll be able to explain to you in a way that would greatly enhance your life. Thank you for staying with me. So, you possess a unique personality and also specific strengths or talents. You've been put here on earth at this particular time and place to accomplish a unique assignment that only you can do best. So, who are you and what is your purpose in this life? In order to understand that, we'll have to understand what is your personality. Now, your personality, the person who you are, the persona that you project in the world, is composed of three things: your emotions, your mind, and your will. Emotions, look at this picture of this little girl presenting her heart to you. She's a very emotional kind of a girl and she presents her emotions, her heart to you. It's as if, to give you a very broad example, we all have met people like this, maybe in a classroom or in some place where they're listening to the teacher or the professor. They might turn to their friend, the neighbor, and say, you know what, I'm never going to come back here again because he doesn't like me or she doesn't like me. They wear their emotions on their sleeve. If it just so happens that you don't look at them, they feel very, very hurt and offended, very sensitive people. So this is a very, very broad example of people who are emotional, very emotionally minded. And there's some of you over there that's just like that. Another category of people that's very strong in the area of the mind. Look at this picture of this young little fellow with the big glasses and all those books. He's studying away. For him, everything is about education, learning, accumulating information, accumulating wisdom, understanding. So these are the kind of people, for example, you meet them on the road or somewhere, and you just ask them a simple little question. Okay, all it takes is a yes or no answer, but they will stand right there, and for the next 30 minutes they will give you a whole lot more information than you ever wanted. They have so much in their minds and they're just looking for some student to download it to. They want to give people that information that they have. They're looking for students, they're looking for people to be able to download to. So that's a very good example of somebody who's very strong in the area of the mind. And then the third category is the people who are strong-willed. Strong-willed. Now look at this picture over here of this little fellow like that. We've all heard parents say, oh, he is a very strong-willed child. People like that. Give you another example. Maybe on the highway, on the fast lane, they're going at top speed, kissing your bumper and blowing the horn, and as well as making signs from the windshield, get out of my way. They're always blowing and going and doing things. Everything is activity oriented. They're full of action. They're strong-willed people. Now these are the three basic categories of people that are there. That's what the personality is composed of. You have all three. But what is the percentage of each is what we would like to find out. Now, the people-oriented persons, the people-dominant persons, okay, they love to be around people. They're more concerned about people than about projects or issues or things. They're very good at relationships. They tend to be love-based. They're very sensitive. They feel very strongly. They can be caring, soft, intimate. They are easily feel for the hurting people, sometimes a little bit too much. They live in the present, not in the future. They enjoy the present moment. They're fun to be around. They're good at supportive roles. They make a very good follower. And of course, when they look for a career, it's going to be a people-oriented career. They have very good social skills. Now, they may get hurt easily, but they're quick to forgive and move on. They want lots of affection, which may not always be available. They feel very strongly for others who may be hurting and maybe sometimes a bit too much. Now, their loving personality may be sometimes misunderstood by the opposite sex. They're very accepting of others and very open-minded, and this can sometimes cause them to make errors in judgment. But they communicate with people at a heart level. They make decisions obviously based upon how they feel right now. In fact, they even use the words I feel a lot in the conversation. It's very easy to love them. That is the first category, the emotion strong people. Are you one of them? As I'm describing these things, maybe you're recognizing some things about your own personality, or maybe the significant people in your life, your spouse, your parents, your children, your best friend. Let's go to the next category. These are the action dominant people. Strong willed. They've got strong leadership qualities. They're mission or goal oriented. They're confident and outgoing. They're very easily motivated to achieve. They look to the future, easily make decisions, even hard ones, spontaneously and intuitively. They use the words I want a lot. They tend to be power based. They're very independent, intense, authoritative, dominant, extrovert, and fast paced in life. They need to be in the lead. They need to be in authority. They like to accomplish tasks, even very difficult ones, and gain status and recognition. Many of them have a very flamboyant lifestyle. They've got many friends, and they're quite willing to use them too. They like words of admiration, recognition, and loyalty. They're very expressive people, and they can do public speaking easily. They're not afraid of opposition. They can be assertive with words and sometimes with action too. They want what they want. Now, they may move towards control if no one is in charge because they have leadership qualities. Sometimes they're accused of being heartless, but that's not true. They've got a soft heart underneath their sometimes tough, rough exterior. They're quite willing to die for the cause. They can be a faithful friend or a very formidable foe. They make a great reformer or an activist, politician, athlete, business owner, supervisor, manager, etc. You get the point. Is this one of you? Is that you? No, these are only stereotypes, okay? I'm just painting with very broad brushstrokes. Nobody is 100% like this. We have a blend of all three. What we want to discover right now is your particular specific blend. And then finally, the third category is the thinkers. These are the mind-dominant people. They're intellectual. They're always thinking. In fact, they live here in their minds. They love to read, research, analyze, plan, etc. They're very comfortable with graphs, data, facts, figures, charts, things like that. They like a structured environment, order, planned, with no sudden surprises. When they choose a career, it'll be like a researcher or a scientist, a lawyer, an accountant, a professor, a writer, a programmer, etc., where lots of information has to be very efficiently managed. They use the words I think a lot. Now, they make difficult to understand subjects easy and understandable for people like me, for the rest of the world. They're very good project persons. They can be somewhat introverted, but they're a bit distant with people, slow-paced and reserved in their personality. But they're more concerned about the issue or project than about people. They like to go into the past to see how it's done. They like to avoid conflict by avoiding difficult people. When in an argument, they would rather reason or talk it over with people. The tendency is to overanalyze. They express love by being responsible rather than being affectionate and emotional. They love truth and hate to appear foolish or ignorant. Now, here I am holding up a mirror to you and asking you, what is your strength? What's number one, number two, number three? What's your specific blend? Now, in order to explain a little bit more, look at this next slide over here. The emotion dominant people, okay, is everything's about feelings. Feelings. How do I feel right now? They use that words I feel a lot in the conversation. They tend to be love based. They come across as soft, slow, and close or intimate. The will dominant people, everything is about the future wants. They use the words I want a lot. They tend to be power based. They're fast, hard, and close. Think of a politician, think of an athlete, think of a leader, a reformer, an activist. And the third category is the mind dominant people. Everything is about the past information. They use the words I think a lot. I think. They're very knowledge based, and they come across in their personality as distant, slow, and maybe a little bit hard. Now, obviously, the emotion dominant people, because they are so relational, they look for a career that's people oriented. They become very good supporters, helpers, servers, caregivers, and followers. The will dominant people, everything is about achievement, getting the job done. So you'll find them as leaders, managers, directors, overseers, supervisors, expressors, influencers. And of course, the mind dominant people, since everything is about the mind, about information, they tend to be very good organizers, researchers, analyzers, processors, coordinators, instructors, and planners. People like that. Do you recognize yourself here? So now what is your personality? What is your personality? Now for me, talk about myself. Now you see that slide over there, I'm more than 50% emotional. Even though I'm a guy, I don't mind saying that. And the second strength that I have is that of the mind. And the third one is that of the will. Now it doesn't mean that my will is very tiny. It just means that proportionately, I have a very strong emotions, strong heart. What's your blend? So now in the graph that was given to you, the form that was given to you, create your own pie chart. The mind, the will, and the emotions based upon what you have understood so far. Okay? I think now that I understand my personality, who I really am, now let's figure out what drives me the most, or what are my strengths? What really motivates me? What am I very passionate about? Mark Twain, that famous American philosopher, novelist, from a long time ago, he said these very beautiful words. The two most important days in your life are the day that you are born and the day you discover why. You discover why. The day you find out why you were born. So what is your assignment? What is your calling, or what is your mission in life? Now that depends upon what motivates you more than anything else. What really excites you into action? What is going to make you sacrifice some things in your life in order to make other things happen? Something to live for, something to die for. So now look at this diagram over here. It's a circle, and in that I've put in 7 different profiles. I've superimposed it over the original circle of the mind, will, and emotions. And these are called the 7 motivational profiles. Now they explain why we do things the way we do them. They are a key to understanding ourselves and in understanding others. They make us unique, but at the same time they make us different. They color the way in which we see our world, and therefore affect our relationships and our tendency towards certain behaviors. There are 7 motivational drives that I've listed over there, and they're all of equal value. It's like an orange, many slices, but the same fruit. So that is what the wheel looks like. Now you have 1 or maybe 2 or even 3 predominant strengths, up to 3 strong ones. You have a desire as well as a need to exercise them. Life can become very frustrating if you're not able to use them. So you focus more on your strengths than spending a lifetime trying to overcome your weaknesses. Now you can learn to operate in all 7 of them, but you will always do your best in your original strengths. Let's discover what is your strength. It's never too late to begin to use them. Once again, another great man said these words: if you cannot figure out your passion, your purpose, then figure out your passion. because your passion will lead you right into your purpose.